What's going on, everybody? Thanks again for joining me. In this video, I want to kind of make a reply to another video that I saw. I like to watch a lot of other YouTuber videos, and this one caught my eye and ears and everything else, and I decided that I wanted to make something similar. So in this video, he explicitly said whether or not you should join a boot camp in 2019, and his answer was no. Mind you, he joined a boot camp in I think 2018, he said, and then got a job, and so then he's telling other people not to join boot camp. So very contradicting. So here's the thing. He put down a lot of things that I personally don't care about. So a lot of the things such as the employment rates and these numbers of when you get out and all that, none of those things really matter to me. And the reason I say that is because if the school is training you in applicable skills, that they're doing their job. Whether you get a job afterwards is 100% reliant on you. There's boot camps that will help you. Lambda School, for my sake, did an amazing job in helping me land this job that I have now. And they went out of their way. They hooked me up with a lot more stuff than I even thought that they would do. And I ended up getting a job for it. There were times where I didn't think that I could get a job. I thought I made a mistake and this wasn't for me and I shouldn't have done this, and very depressing issues and all that. And I highly suggest that you stay away from thoughts like that. Luckily for me, I had some really amazing friends that kept reminding me how badass of a dev I was, how shitty companies were for not hiring me and all of that. It just kind of pushed me along and told me to keep going, and Lambda staff as well. I reached out to them and they came back to me with a lot of motivational stuff. A lot of them were close to me because we talked and stuff, and so they knew the type of person that I was. And so the mentality of, I don't feel like this is going to be real or anything like that can be very dangerous. If you keep thinking that way, then you're going to make the possible impossible. You're going to be weighing yourself down. There's a lot of things that you can't control, and then there are a lot of things that you can control, and your attitude is one of them. So if you remain positive and kind of just keep going for it, and who knows, it may not happen. You might be one of those stories where you just don't get hired and all that for whatever reasons, whether it's you didn't network appropriately, you didn't reach out appropriately, you didn't go to events, maybe your city sucks and doesn't have any tech, and you were not looking to move anywhere else. There's a lot of factors that are involved in that. Or you could become a success story and you could get your dream job and all this other stuff that you want to get. And if you start thinking negatively about it and start saying, oh, but these numbers and this guy didn't get a job, and she's amazing and she didn't get a job, and then you start blaming the boot camp because of this. Meanwhile, other people who don't care about these things are getting jobs, then you're kind of selling yourself short. For me personally, I've seen the Reddit posts where they're talking bad about Lambda. I've read the entire thing. I've seen the Twitter post where they're bashing Lambda. A bunch of people that never even went to the school heard something from somebody else, and now they feel like that it's their job to complain about it. And that's cool. None of that matters to me. The reason why it didn't matter to me is because Lambda trained me to do a job, and they did what they said they were going to do. Could you learn this stuff on your own? Sure, go for it. In fact, I highly suggest that people go and learn as much as they can before they even think about going into a boot camp. Lambda will do the best that they can to teach you from 0 to 100, but keep in mind that a boot camp moves really fast. So there's a lot of stuff that you're not going to remember, you're not going to get. You'll probably revisit it later and all that, and you don't really have to know it right away, but it does help if you have some prior experience. That always helps. So go out there and go to Free Code Camp, Udemy, Pluralsight, Front End Masters, Team Treehouse, all of these sites that are available to you. Even Khan Academy, so you can learn some math or something. They also have a programming course on there as well. So there's all this resource that you can go to, and who knows, you might even learn enough to get a job long before you even need a boot camp. I personally couldn't do it. I tried to do it on my own. I actually did it on my own for about a year or so. probably about a year and a half, learning as much as I could. And to be honest with you, I quit JavaScript 3 times. I think the first time that I quit it, I took about a month off, and all I did was play video games. And every time I thought about going back to it, I would just get mad. And and then after a while, I just like said, you know what, I got to get back to it. And I realized that I forgot everything that I had learned, and so I had to start all the way from the beginning. And I was really struggling, so I kept going for as long as I could. And then I realized that I needed structure. I needed to basically have, like, there's a lot of questions that I was getting. I didn't know where to look for answers. I didn't know how to find a lot of the stuff that I needed. I got tired of just following tutorials and not really understanding enough to build my own things, and so I needed the structure behind it, and that's what Lambda provided. Apart from that, I took advantage, like full advantage of the school. Like, I became a TL just so that I can get even more involved and get more experience and get, other experience that you normally can't get as a normal student. As a normal student, you're going through the entire process and it's great, but I feel like there's a little bit of that piece that's just missing, like getting more involved into the workflow, getting more into a team environment, being a team lead, reviewing other people's code on a regular basis, helping debug. Like, I think helping debug code is one of the most important things that you can learn anywhere before getting a job. And so if your school, whether it's Lambda or General Assembly or any other Hack Reactor or whatever, has some type of a team lead or teaching assistant position, then I highly suggest that you go for it, sign up for that, and take advantage of it. That's extra experience that the instructors and the school itself won't give you unless you sign up for something like that. So as far as do I think that coding bootcamps are great in 2019, I would say yes, without a doubt. However, just be sure that that's what you want to do, and be sure that you can stick to it. Like I said, there's that really bad mentality of I can't do it, or this is not for me, or my age, or my gender, or my race, or whatever the case is. These are things that you're putting up against you. You're putting up these walls to protect yourself before you even get a chance to get started. I got rejected. I can't even express to you how many times. I had a 15-second phone call where as soon as I told them I didn't have a bachelor's degree, they basically hung up on me. So, it happens to everybody. You just have to keep going. It's only going to happen to you if you keep going. So I personally don't care about these numbers and what these other people say and all that. If I wanted to go to college and I knew I was going to make it work, then I would have gone to college and made that work, regardless of what anybody else or any other numbers or whatever say. I would have made that work. It just so happens that my choice was to go to Lambda school and keep going to it until I made it work. I don't think that any YouTube videos or numbers or employment rate or whatever in the world could have stopped me from getting a job. Even if it wasn't this job, I would have gotten a job, because I have that mentality to keep going, and I want people to have that as well. So if you guys have any comments or questions, feel free to put them down below. Also, I do think that college is still a viable way to go. I think that there are major differences between what you learn between a boot camp and college. I think that you can close those gaps by on your own, but I think that keeping them respectively separate is also a very viable thing to do. So I'll see you guys next time.